everyone to Chelmsford High School's 102nd commencement for the graduating class of 2019. My name is Ingrid Haywood and I'm the secretary for the senior class. Would you all please rise and remove your caps for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner? Everyone, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid. Dr. Lang, members of the school committee, honored guests, town manager Paul Cohen, and select woman Pat Wojcik, family, friends, faculty, and of course members of Chelmsford High School's graduating class of 2019. I'm Steve Murray, principal of Chelmsford High School. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you this evening to our 102nd commencement. Before we officially start the program, I want to thank a few people for their contributions to make this event possible. Without the contributions of these folks in planning, rehearsing, setting up, and executing this event, we certainly wouldn't be able to be here tonight for this joyous occasion. So a special thanks to the deans, Dean Blagg, Dean McIsaac, and Dr. Lyons, to our special education team chairperson, Renee Morgan, to the office staff, Ms. Moreau, Ms. Emanuel, and Ms. Rick, the House Secretaries, Mr. Stacy, Ms. Fallon, and Ms. Mason, Callista Cody, our custodial crew, Charlie, Chris, and Matt. Thank you, Ryan Poisson, Tom Peterson, Dan Silva, Doug Maffetone, and Craig Robertson, and the CTTV, Mr. Sexauer, Ms. Rader, Ms. Camo, Mr. Bartos, and our guidance counselors, Ms. Smith and Ms. Swanson, and our faculty and staff, and our National Honor Society student volunteers. As you can see from this program, we have several special guests here this evening who spent a great deal of time crafting thoughtful messages to help commemorate and celebrate this occasion. First, I'd like to welcome our first speaker, Superintendent Dr. Lang.
Please go ahead and sit. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, parents, and the Chelmsford High School graduating class of 2019. On behalf of the Chelmsford Public Schools Administration, I want to congratulate you on your many accomplishments in the classroom and academics, on stage in musicals, plays, and performances, and also on the court and field in athletics. I am proud of you, the administration of Chelmsford High School is proud of you, and the town is proud of you. Today is a very special day in your lives. It is a culmination of 13 years of schooling, with highs, lows, and everything in between. Many of the friendships you have made along your journey in the Chelmsford Public Schools will be lifelong and supportive during the high and low points of your many years to follow. Cherish these friendships, and foster them for years to come. Some of my personal friends from high school continue to be the closest and very best friends in my life to this day. I know you share with me a great sense of gratitude to the caring, committed, and dedicated elementary, middle, and high school teachers, administrators, and support staff who have looked out for you, guided you, and helped to shape you into the young men and women before me today. Chelmsford has provided you with an exceptional education. The program, services, and staff are truly second to none. Your teachers, counselors, administrators, and support staff have gone above and beyond to make sure you receive the very finest education. At times, our staff have served as mentors, role models, or just caring, compassionate adults willing to listen and provide advice on issues you may have been dealing with. At times, our supportive adults have helped you socially and emotionally cope with being a high school student and all of the challenges that presents. I would ask all staff of the Chelmsford Public Schools who have joined us here today to stand for a moment and be recognized for the countless hours you have put into helping our students prepare for today. All staff of the Chelmsford Public Schools, Chelmsford High School, I know I saw a lot of elementary, middle school teachers, paraprofessionals, support staff in the audience. Would you please stand and be recognized for a moment? Thank you. Let's also not forget and take a moment to recognize how very fortunate you are to have many caring, committed supporters here with you today to celebrate your high school graduation. Your mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, extended family members and friends. You have worked hard and should be proud of yourself and your accomplishments. You leave Chelmsford High School with the knowledge and skills necessary to be successful in college, your career, and life. You have been provided with an outstanding foundation of knowledge and the skills necessary to navigate life. Enjoy life, pursue what truly interests and drives you. It is now time for you to explore and find out what your life's work will be. Take what you have learned, the life lessons you have experienced, be kind to others, and have gratitude for the educational experience that has been provided to you in the Chelmsford Public Schools. Consider for a moment all of the graduates who have come before you that you will soon join as alumni, and hopefully proud alumni, of Chelmsford High School. You have a lot to be thankful for. You have accomplished much in your academic life. You have earned the privilege to walk across the stage later this afternoon and receive your high school diploma, and be recognized as a graduate of Chelmsford High School, a graduate of the Chelmsford Public Schools, one of the truly finest public school systems in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The Chelmsford Public Schools have been a caring, safe, structured, and supported learning environment for you throughout the years. It is time for you to go seek the opportunities that await you. I ask that when you leave Chelmsford High School, you continue to push yourself to learn, work hard, enjoy life, and give back to the community and schools that have supported you and provided you with so much throughout the years. In closing, I want to congratulate you on your accomplishment. Good luck, Chelmsford High School class of 2019, as you begin the next chapter of your life.
Thank you, Dr. Lang. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage Chairperson, Chelmsford Public School Committee, Mr. Dennis King.
parents, friends, honored guests, and most especially graduates of the class of 2019. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you on this special occasion. Last year, when I stood here before the class of 2018, I spoke of how remarkable it was that I was sitting where you are today, 36 years ago, waiting to receive a diploma as a graduate of Chelmsford High School, and that through the whirlwind of life, I somehow was standing on the other side of the stage as a speaker at graduation. As I began to consider what I would say tonight, my first thought was, well, I can't give that speech again. But then it struck me that I wasn't the only graduate of Chelmsford High School living in my house. In addition to my wife, Dana, a fellow graduate of the class of 1983, my daughter Maggie is a graduate of the class of 2011. Most of you probably don't know Maggie by name, but you would probably recognize her if you saw her, as she'd been recently making an appearance at Chelmsford High School as part of a new work opportunity. Maggie went through the Chelmsford Public Schools from pre-K to high school, as I'm sure many of you did. Maggie attended classes, went on field trips, participated in concerts and plays like many of you have. But Maggie's experience was a little different because Maggie has cerebral palsy, gets around in a wheelchair, communicates through a computer, needs help doing those things that most of us take for granted. Despite all those differences, those around her always treated her with kindness, respect, and understanding. Not just her teachers, but by her peers, by people like you, the students of Chelmsford High School. This is one of the things that makes Chelmsford such a great place to live and to go to school. Students like you are welcoming, you are understanding, you are willing to see beyond people's limitations and truly see who they are. Maggie has worked in many places since she graduated from CHS, in businesses, in local town halls, and libraries, but many of those jobs seemed to lack fulfillment. Then this year, she had the opportunity to come back to Chelmsford High School to work a few days a week. From day one, you could tell this job was different. She was excited to go to work. She came home from work smiling and eager to go back the next day. And the reason for this, once again, was because of the way she was treated, the way she was greeted, the comfort she felt by being in the halls of Chelmsford High School with all of you. Although Maggie couldn't accompany me tonight, I thought it would be nice to let her tell you herself what being among you means to her, so she agreed to tape a short message. Any luck? Not. Well, if Maggie was here tonight, what she would tell you is, this would be about what Maggie would tell you. You've seen me in the halls of CHS in recent months, helping in the recycling program with some of my fellow members from Valley Collaborative. I love coming to Chelmsford High School because of the feelings of love and respect that I feel when I go there. You may not realize it, but the hello or smile that I get from all of you means a lot to me. As you go forward to college and beyond, don't forget that compassion and that understanding that you've shown to me and to others as you've gone through the Chelmsford Public Schools. Remember to be kind to those around you and continue to be willing to help those who need your help. Chelmsford High and all the other schools you've attended over the last 12 or 13 years have taught you many lessons, but the biggest lesson to take with you is to be good people. I want to wish you the best of luck in the future, and I know you'll all be successful whatever you do. So that would be Maggie's message to you. I would echo that. Continue to be the type of people that make a difference in people's lives, whether you know it or not. And if you do that, you'll be successful in whatever you choose to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King. Once again, good evening and welcome to all families, staff, and students. We're pleased to have you today in attendance. And once again, welcome to Dr. Lang, Assistant Superintendent Hirsch, school committee, staff, and our special guests. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to recognize two teachers, Ms. Jen Pratt-Herman, one of our Spanish teachers, and Mr. Gordon Scott, one of our science teachers. Collectively, they've worked at Chelmsford High School for over 35 years. Similar to all of you who are seated in front of me, they'll be leaving Chelmsford High School after this year as well. They're retiring. Mr. Scott is known for his love of science, coupled with his infectious laugh and great sense of humor. He loved coming to Chelmsford High School each and every day, and he loved the relationships he's had with his students. Ms. Jen Pratt-Herman clearly had a passion for teaching Spanish, which is why she was so invested in the Spanish Honor Society. The loud ovations she received during the Spanish Honor Society induction night showed what students think of her. Both will certainly be missed, and we hope they transition to the next phase of their life and that they transition into the next phase as substitute teachers. We need more of them, and the pay is fantastic. So at this time, students, it'd be appropriate to show our appreciation with a round of applause to both these teachers. Thank you for your years of service. And once again, I'd like to thank the parents and families for once again coming out and showing your support for this group in front of us. You attended concerts, plays, clubs, athletic events, and celebrations of learning. Without your support, the students would not have achieved this level of success that they've had, and CHS would not be a strong school without your support. So on behalf of everyone here on stage and the staff at Chelmsford High School, we say thank you. I am truly honored that this is my first official graduating class, while I had the pleasure of being the principal for 4 full years that I've been at Chelmsford High School. When you were a freshman, I was at the gym watching the girls' volleyball game, and a parent came up to me to talk to me about the senior class of that year and their reputation. It wasn't flattering, but I stood and I heard it. And as I walked away, 3 members from your class came up to me and said, "Really? She hasn't heard about our class." When I think about that, rumors are only rumors, and words are only words. As they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Looking at your high school career, I saw amazing growth. You went from being followers, and in your senior year, you certainly were leaders. And that's not easy to follow. And this is certainly evident in this past week. As I said to several of you, in the 5 high school graduation classes I had, this by far was the most fun senior week that I've had and the most relaxing. And I thank you for that. As Lewis Grizzard, an American writer and humorist, said, "Life is like a dog sled team. If you ain't the lead dog, the scenery never changes." As a group for the past year, you've been the lead dogs. You've changed the scenery both figuratively and literally at Chelmsford High School. You started a new tradition this year, painting a mural in the halls that depict the important points and moments that you've had at Chelmsford High School. Each graduating class from this point forward will do the same. This year, you mentored the underclassmen. This resulted in a fantastic mentoring program that parents expressed great appreciation, and friends of mine who are principals in other districts have called me to ask for ideas for their mentoring programs. You've used your influence and knowledge to help other students, and the results was a phenomenal musical, Fiddler on the Roof. The Thursdays rocked it out in New York City, taking 3rd in an international a cappella competition. And we perhaps had the best overall sports year in many years. And this includes the first ever rugby team at Chelmsford High School. Those games were fun to watch, but certainly looked hard to play. And what I was most impressed about is our seniors took the lead, joined a sport that they haven't done before, and entered in competition against many schools who had well-established programs. You did it with dignity, you worked hard, and with class. Usually, when a senior class has this much success, we worry about what will be left when they walk out the doors. I firmly believe that you left our school in a great place, with a roadmap for the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors to follow. Thank you for taking the initiative, for taking risks, and taking charge. You were so successful that you rocked sophomore success. And you did it so well, you were able to convince Dr. Lang to not call any snow days this year, and thus give you the longest school year of any senior graduating class. When I'm asked what I do for a living, I elaborate that I'm a principal of a high school. The facial expressions that I receive are often sympathetic, at times filled with looks of bewilderment, wondering why I would work with teenagers, why would I work with this many teenagers in a school this large? Their facial expressions make Simon Cowell's look tame and appropriate. But people do not naturally assume that high school students are capable of showing interest beyond themselves or beyond the world around them. Those people do not know the class of 2019. The highlights that I mentioned exemplify this class. The activities I mentioned earlier obviously brought you great joy, but those activities also brought our school and community great joy as well. None of this can occur without leadership and change that you demonstrated this past year. Continue on this path. For those of you who have not participated in leadership opportunities, author Seth Godin said it best: Please stop waiting for a map. We reward those who draw maps, not for those who follow them. Take advantage of this new beginning. Each and every one of you can make a difference. It doesn't have to be grand or on a public scale. It can be individually, one person, or situation at a time. All of you have the skills to be leaders and make a difference. Show the world what it means to be a graduate of Chelmsford High School. Mr. Al Thomas, current school committee member and former principal of Chelmsford High School, he's a man that I admire and I respect. I've never had the opportunity to work with him directly, but I have indirectly when I worked at McCarthy as administrator many years ago. And when I come to the high school, I'd hear his announcements and at times addressing students. And he would say something that has stuck with me all these years. He would say, "Make it a good day or not, that's your choice. Live life with passion and creativity and energy. If you do, the world will be a better place, and those who know you will be proud of you just as we are today. The work you demonstrated this year, continue. Continue to change. Continue to lead by example. Continue mentoring others. Continue making a difference, and continue to be the leaders we know you are. Thank you for being my first four-year graduating class. We are proud of you. Everyone here is proud of you. Congratulations, you deserve it. As much as CHS is a comprehensive high school that offers a quality 21st century skills with liberal arts education, extensive co-curricular offerings, numerous student-run clubs and activities, and a wonderfully supportive community, our student speakers tonight exemplify these traditions. It is my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, our class salutatorian, Benjamin Cote.
Yeah, don't worry. Hello, class of 2019. I am so grateful to have been given a chance to speak at this ceremony. While I have no tips, tricks, or lessons of my own to teach you, I want to share 4 lessons and 4 things that I learned from one of the greatest teachers in my life, my dog, Riley. So, number 1, show your love and always voice your feelings. I know that I love Riley because I think about him all the time, but I know that I don't spend as much time with him as I should, or as much as I would like to. However, I can't just use my words to let him know how much I care about him. I couldn't expect him to understand. So, if I want him to know how I feel, I need to show it. Though I wish that words could quickly show people my feelings, I know this isn't the case. We are far more similar to dogs than we think, and our words are empty if there's nothing to back them up. With a wag of his tail, a nudge, or some other body signal, Riley always makes me feel loved. He can't speak to me, but his actions leave me without a trace of doubt. Some people possess this quality as well. The type of people who fill me with joy and show their care without ever saying it. A friend taking the time to talk about music and listen to songs that I love. Someone bringing over ice cream after a tough week. A person whose smile makes you feel understood. It's these things that mean the most to me, and these people whom I admire. Although words do carry significance, they are not a substitute for action. And for the people who make your lives better, if there's a chance to use your actions to show them that you care, don't let it slip by. 2, forgive and move past your first impressions. Not all dogs have been brought up with consistency, security, and love. Most of us have probably seen dogs that seem uninviting to us. Maybe they didn't appear friendly, maybe they seemed disobedient, but these animals are not inherently like this. These behaviors have been formed over their lives because of things like lack of training or from abandonment or abuse. Unfortunately, these animals can't tell us what caused their pain or how we can help them. All we see is the current way they act, and it's easy to believe that this is all there is to them. But to do so would be to abandon them as a lost cause. In a different situation, those very same animals may have grown to be sweet and kind. Though you can't change their past, you can improve their future. They deserve understanding, patience, and more chances. And the same goes for people. We all carry burdens from our past, and sometimes they cause us to snap at someone, or we get unnecessarily defensive. It's only afterwards that we realize what we've done, and sometimes it can seem too late to apologize. Regardless of where you come from, recognize that there is no way of knowing the struggle someone else has faced. Be forgiving. If they seem distant or cold to you, don't take it personally. Be empathetic of their situation, even if you don't know what caused it. Maybe your forgiveness and support will help them overcome their traumas. 3, find new things to appreciate in the same old environments. When my family got Riley, it became my responsibility to walk him each afternoon. That was 8 years ago, and today, well past his 2,500th time around the block, the little daily changes are enough to keep Riley engaged on these walks. And while it's taken years for me to open my eyes, I've finally begun to value the cutting wintry gusts, watching incremental growth of flowers each day, the squirrels scuttling, and other little details that I never would have picked up before. These walks could have been something boring, but instead I followed Riley's lead. I found reasons to appreciate them. It's easy to succumb to the mundane, and I let myself get caught up in repetitive cycles of life far too often. Yet, I see how Riley prances through the neighborhood, with his tail wagging and his nose to the ground. Though it's hard to be positive, I push myself to appreciate something new every day, just like Riley. It could be an interaction with someone, something amazing I ate because I love food, a drive home with the windows down, any of those wonderful daily occurrences I usually overlook. Riley gets joy from what's already around him. So, instead of yearning for what I wish I had, I'm looking to the life that I already live. Appreciating these moments makes me a happier, saner person. Make time to embrace what's around you, to discover the beauty you may pass by every day, because no one else is going to do that for you. And 4, when you need help, ask for it, and when you need love, show it. Pets tend to be very direct, making it impossible to ignore them until you address their needs. While copying Riley's bluntness isn't the most respectful way for me to get help, I admire his self-awareness. He knows what he can and cannot do alone, which is something that we struggle with as humans. We often fail to admit when we are in over our heads. We internalize stress because it's hard to accept that we are unable to do everything alone. I know I've had countless issues with this, but I'm trying to improve. For me, that means both acknowledging when I need help and offering help to other people when they are in need. The same goes for emotional hardships. Just as all dogs need affection, attention, and comforting, so do we. The world can be competitive and it can be unforgiving, but that is not an excuse to act that way. It's too easy to perpetuate negativity. It's harder to open your heart to those around you. It's frightening to be honest, to confront your inner fears, to show the times you're vulnerable, you're confused, or have made mistakes. But just as it's normal to be happy and to have proud moments, it's normal to cry, and it's normal to be sad. Don't feel shame for experiencing your emotions, and don't shame others for feeling theirs. Ask for help and emotional support, and give it in return. Riley is a scruffy oddball, but he has changed my life. From my time with him, and from other dogs around me, I've learned to love openly, to forgive quickly, to embrace life's beauty, and to accept help. These animals have taught me what it is to be human. Class of 2019, high school is behind us, and the world is ours to change. Down every path that we make, there will be joy to discover and lessons to learn. Be humble, be open-minded, and be kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. For the presentation of the class gift, which I don't think are beach balls, please join me in welcoming to the stage the class treasurer, Evan Wang.
Thank you. We are excited to announce the class of 2019's class gift. We are donating money to renovate the gym lobby. The money will help install graphics and memorabilia that will celebrate our current athletic teams and honor the accomplishments of teams and athletes from the past. We will show our current and future students and visitors our Lions pride.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you for the class of 2019 for your thoughtful gift. Since the high school was opened in 1974, Principal Emeritus George Simonian has always identified the most important student in the school to be the class president. Not only is the president responsible for leading the class, the president is responsible for taking the pulse and working with school leaders to help the school to continue to evolve and come together. It's no surprise, due in no small part to their contributions to this wonderful institution, that each class president's name is inscribed and memorialized on a placard in the main hall. This year's class president has certainly lived up to these expectations. Please welcome this year's class president, Mr. Matthew Doherty.
Welcome friends, family, faculty, administration, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2019 to the 102nd commencement of Chelmsford High School. I just want to check real quick, is Chris Rabius here? Oh, I see him right there. Okay, we can start now. All right. My fellow graduates, at this time, let's look to our left and our right. Look all around. Notice how many people are surrounding you in this arena to witness our tremendous event. Each of the people you see are responsible in some way or another for getting us all to this pinnacle point in our lives. To all of our friends and family, whether you made their lunch, stayed up late with them studying, drove them to school, or just simply asked how their day was, you had an impact on their life. You influenced their personality, their ideals and morals, their sense of humor, their dedication and motivation to persevere through 12 years of schooling to the moment that is soon approaching. There is no greater gift you could have bestowed upon these graduates. Well, besides AirPods. On behalf of all my fellow graduates, thank you. I'd also like to give a quick personal thank you to my family. To my brothers, Sean and Ryan, thank you for teaching me how to take a punch. Seriously though, it's amazing to think that my big brothers can also become my best friends. To my little sister, Kate, for being so thoughtful and generous. Although you're younger than me, I still look up to you. Lastly, to my parents, Mom, I'm sure you, as well as everyone around you, can't really hear this due to your crying. But thank you for consistently waking up at 6 a.m. before school with me, for making my lunch over all those years, and for being that person I could always talk to. Dad, thank you for always asking how my day was every time I came home, even though my answer was always just a plain good or fine. You are my coach on and off the field. Thank you for never letting up and showing how hard work does pay off. Thank you to all of my family for everything you've done for me over the last 18 years. Ingrid, Evan, and Will. Working with you three over the past year and a half has been the highlight of my high school career. You each have such creative and well-thought ideas. You all have taught me so much, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, I think we all here in attendance owe Miss Marion Smith and Miss Alex Swanson a huge, huge debt of gratitude for all their efforts since we entered the high school. You both mean so much to all four of us. I can't express the magnitude of appreciation and love we feel for both of you. I can't believe it's over. I don't know how I'll manage not being able to see both of you every day. I'll forever miss Miss Swanson's infamous, "Hey, buddy," or her reassuring, "You're awesome, I appreciate you." I'll never forget Miss Smith's sayings either, like, "Make sure you always become friends with the custodian." Thank you both a million times over. We couldn't have done any of this without you. Also, thank you to everyone in all of the house offices, the deans, the guidance counselors, secretaries, everyone, for looking out for all of us over the last 4 years. Special shout out to Whittier and to Miss Jen Arsini. Thank you. Lastly, to Mr. Stephen Murray, a man who oversees students, faculty, and staff. Thank you for believing in me and challenging me to be the best leader I can be. We will all miss your scooter rides, high C, and M&M vitamins. Okay, now that all that mushy stuff is over, it's time we focus on the class of 2019. I look out at all of you, and I only see faces of my friends. Seriously, I can't find one that I haven't spoken with, laughed with, or just grown up with. We've all grown together, from adolescence to adulthood, from building blocks to the quadratic equation, from baby faces to full beards. Some of us still working on that. It's all right. We've all gone through our major life experiences together. I mean, even this, today, graduation. This is a major accomplishment that we each made it to. We made it here together, as a whole, a team, a family, whatever you want to call it. We are Chelmsford High School's one and only class of 2019, and that will tie us together long after we leave this building. There's no other group of individuals in the world that you can say you've gone through all this with. There's no one else you can blame for sophomore success other than this group. No other group was beaten so badly by the sophomores in Powder Puff that they had to cancel the event altogether. We also witnessed the performance of a lifetime this past March in our pack together. I know I won't soon forget Ben and Chad's duet. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you all have given me so many memories to look back upon as I move on to the next chapter of my life. I am so grateful for my time spent at Chelmsford High School and with all of you. I feel so fortunate to have witnessed so many of you discover your abilities, passions, and purpose. We have such a talented, multifaceted class. We have all the bases covered, from stellar athletes like Aaron Green and Shay Ryan, to our astounding theater guild, including Philip Ferdinand and Sophie Bellany. We have students heading to Harvard, such as Carlos Bejar Garcia. We even have our very own rapper in SBS Mitch. Not to mention our nationally ranked a cappella groups, Thursdays and the Crescendos. See, there's nothing we can't do. We are the next big thing, again. The sky's the limit. We're a force to be reckoned with, so watch out, world, because the class of 2019 is coming. After all, we reign. My sincerest thank you to all of you, and congratulations. On behalf of the class of 2019, I pass the gavel to you, Levi Cass, as the new president of the class of 2020. You will carry on the traditions in your role as class president with honor and integrity, which has been the hallmark of this position over the past decades.
Thank you, Matt. As the president of the class of 2020, it is my pleasure to stand before friends, family, teachers, faculty, and of course, the talented student body graduating today. As far back as I can remember, we have always been told by parents and teachers to leave somewhere better than we found it. Most of the time, it meant cleaning up after ourselves. But today, as you reminisce and celebrate the past 4 years, it is clear that you, the class of 2019, have left Chelmsford High School better than you found it. The culmination of your academic, athletic, musical, and extracurricular accomplishments have changed the culture of this school community for good. The energy you bring to every school dance and sporting event has set a precedent for future classes and will certainly be missed. The ways that you have influenced your peers will live on long after you graduate. As one of my favorite country singers once said, "It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you, it's what you leave behind you when you go." The lives you have touched on the field, on the court, on the stage, and in the classroom will never forget the ways you have transformed and improved our school community. And because of that, your legacy will forever walk the halls of CHS. To Matt, Ingrid, Will, and Evan, you should be extremely proud of the way you have led our school for the past year. And thank you for all the times you have worked with and guided my fellow class officers and me. You never cease to amaze us, and we owe you so much. CHS Class of 2019, you're a tough act to follow. As you join the ranks of CHS alumni, remember that our doors are always open, and we hope to foster the welcoming environment that you have created for us throughout the past 4 years. Congratulations for all that you have accomplished, and we wish you the best of luck in the next steps of your life journey, wherever they may take you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt and Levi. The valedictorian is a position of supreme honor. As our highest achieving student, the title of valedictorian represents the student who's excelled over a 4-year period in every aspect of his or her studies. It is my pleasure to introduce to you this year's valedictorian, Carlos Bejar Garcia.
All right, hello, class of 2019. I must say, 4 years ago, I could not have imagined what the future would hold for us during our time here at CHS. We've been through many adventures during these past 4 years. We were there when weekly flex blocks were a thing. We survived sophomore success. And to top it all off, we got only one snow day in our senior year. But now we're finally here at graduation. A time to celebrate our accomplishments, look forward to the future, and throw beach balls throughout the Tsongas arena. Now, of course, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the support of many individuals who have helped us throughout the past 4 years and beyond. So I'd like now to take a moment to thank them for helping us over the past 4 years, because today is a celebration of their hard work as much as it is ours. So please join me in thanking all the parents, siblings, family members, and friends who have guided us throughout the past 12 years, the teachers, guidance counselors, and club advisors who have taught us many invaluable lessons, both inside and outside the classroom, and all the deans, our principal, superintendent, and the whole of administration for making sure that our school runs smoothly. Applause is in order. Now finally, I'd like to thank you, the class of 2019, for making the past 12 years the best years of my life. I would read all 340 of your names and thank you each individually, but I think Mr. Bartos has got that covered. Now, let's get started. It's great and all to celebrate the past, but at some point we have to begin to look forward to the future. For some of us, this may be daunting, the thought of entering a new stage in our lives, but I believe it does not have to be so, because all of us are capable of fulfilling whatever it is we set our sights on. For the past 12 years, we have lived and we have breathed school. From sunup to sundown, always fighting to keep our grades up, and at some points, we've been tempted to equate academic success with real-world success. But the times are changing. Tomorrow, your success will no longer be measured by letters and numbers, but by the amount of work you put into your tasks and the fervor with which you execute all of your actions. When you graduate, it will not matter whether your diploma comes from Chelmsford High School, Westford Academy, or Phillips Exeter, because graduation will be like a big reset button. The people you meet once you leave CHS will not know you. They will not know your transcript. They will not know the activities you were involved in. They will not know whether you got cut from the soccer team or whether you were the captain of the speech and debate team. Perhaps this may seem to you a downside of graduation, like we are having to start again from zero. But I see this as a new opportunity. An opportunity to prove ourselves and challenge ourselves and set new goals for ourselves. Because as long as you have values and ideals to guide you through your life, it should not matter what your rank was, nor your GPA, because the world will judge you not on who you have been, but on who you are. So go out into the world and be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and most importantly, help shape the world. By receiving our diplomas, we are being granted an immense honor. And with this honor comes great responsibility. We have a responsibility to do more with our education than just sit around a whiteboard all day, arguing over the symbolism of a red hunting hat. We have the responsibility to help shape the world. Now, true, we might just be high school graduates without jobs and without college degrees, but that does not mean we cannot dream bigger than ourselves. The world is full of issues which need solving. Issues such as climate change, economic inequality, a lack of trust in our political system. And these issues are not just going to solve themselves. Now, true, one person alone probably cannot solve any of these, but progress will not be made unless someone first steps up and leads the way. Why not make that someone be you? As students, we are exposed to the world from many different perspectives, and we see things which sometimes other adults simply cannot see because they have gotten used to life being a certain way. Thus, it should be our goal to speak up when we see issues that we care about, because if you do not do so, then maybe no one will. Now, these ideas which we speak up for do not necessarily have to be world-changing ideas. They can be small, and they can be community-oriented. Many of you are going to college next year. Maybe when you get there, you realize that your college doesn't have a sustainable composting program. Lobby for one. Maybe if you're entering the workforce, you might notice that employees at your job get preferential treatment over others. Speak up for them. Find an issue, no matter how big or small it may seem, and use your ability as a graduate of Chelmsford High School to fix it. Thus, I am taking this opportunity to announce an important decision for Chelmsford High School. As some of you may know, late last year, I started a movement to get Chelmsford to delay the start time of its high school until after 8 a.m. While our progress has been slower than expected, I would now like to share our organization's vision and official timeframe for the next few years. Before this year's current freshmen graduate, before the class of 2022 graduates, Start School Later Chelmsford will have set forth a plan to have Chelmsford High School move its starting time to after 8 a.m. Let's hear it for Proper Sleep. Now, I share this with you today, the class 2019, because I would like to illustrate to you a point. When we first set our eyes on this lofty goal, we had no idea where this ambition would take us. Today, we are closer than ever to achieving this goal, but I still do not think that neither I nor my immediate successor know where the future will take us. But you have to be willing to believe. You have to be willing to have faith in your causes. You have to believe that your hard work will pay off. And most importantly, you have to be willing to challenge the world and change it when it is not right. Now, some will say that this is easier said than done. Some will say that some dreams were meant to remain dreams. When you set off on your journey, whether your final destination be a personal goal or a world-changing goal, there will be people who will tell you it is not possible. There will always be people who will tell you it is not possible, and who will tell you that you are better off sticking off with being a normal kid and simply following the rules of life. Well, I'd like to leave you with this parting thought. No one ever got anywhere by following the rules. Steve Jobs didn't found Apple by staying at Reed College. The internet wasn't invented by people following a set protocol. And our very nation would not have been founded had our forefathers not decided to take their destiny into their own hands. Some of you will call me foolish for thinking this, foolish for thinking that anything is possible. But if you remember nothing else from my speech, remember this. There are no such things as foolish dreams, only foolish people who give up before their dreams can be realized. Congratulations, class of 2019. I look forward to seeing what the future holds for us.
Thank you, Carlos. I'll wait. Thank you. Please join me as I welcome this year's Vice President of the class of 2019, Mr. William Marcotte, to introduce our faculty speaker.
Good afternoon, class of 2019. For those of you who have had him in class, Mr. Stephen Courtemanche requires no introduction. But if you haven't had him in class, please allow me to introduce him. Coming into freshman year, I had no love for English, and frankly, I hated reading. I viewed English just as a requirement, something mandatory I had to sit through to graduate, seeing that I already knew how to speak it. Until, of course, I met Mr. Courtemanche. The moment I walked into his classroom, I knew he was not only passionate about each and every lesson he taught, but also passionate about showing us the value of those lessons. From tackling Shakespeare for the first time to reading the Odyssey, he challenged us to find enjoyment in our work. For me, that challenge worked, since the Odyssey is still one of my favorite books I've read in school, and even though not most of you can say the same. I spent most of my time just trying to earn his respect, whether it was talking with him after class about a book we've read, or just trying my hardest in class. In fact, I don't think I've ever worked harder in my life to impress someone the way I tried to impress this man. So much so that when he dared us to keep up with higher level English and have him in AP senior year, I knew I had to. So in my senior year, I finally got to know him not only as my teacher, but as Steve-O, a charismatic and goofy man who hates chain restaurants, cares about his students, loves The Office, has his own band, is a huge film nerd, and can play guitar better than anyone that I know. When I look back on my fondest memories from senior year, it's because of him that I think of D-Block AP English, and the fun that we've had in class, all because of him. He's been my personal source of inspiration for the past 4 years, and I hope you're as excited as I am that he's here this afternoon. And so, class of 2019, it is my honor to introduce you to the king of the English department, Mr. Stephen Courtemanche.
Good evening. I wanted to say good evening to the school committee, superintendent, assistant superintendent, Chelmsford High School administration, parents, guests, and of course, class of 2019. It's an absolute honor to be selected to give this year's commencement speech. So welcome to your final sophomore success assembly. Congratulations. We sure were worried about all 368 of you scoundrels. Well, we've taught you everything you need to know, from safely carrying an egg around in a basket for a week or so, to the very specific rules of volleyball, to where commas go. So if you mess up from here on out, it's on you. We've given you all the tools you need to succeed. Full disclosure, I have no idea how I ended up here. I mean, I'm really glad I did because Chelmsford's awesome. And I look forward to every day coming into school because of the amazing students and parents that are part of this community. But the fact is, and I share this fact with perfect strangers all the time, I just don't really know how I ended up here, but I sure am glad I've been here for the last 21 years. Now, the fact is, where I am right now and all the other facts and circumstances of my life are all just a wonderful result, a coming together of infinite factors. But there is no method or rationale to the path that led me here, that I can assure you. I have never once been accused of thinking ahead. Never. Hamlet said to Horatio, "There's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will. No matter whether we struggle against or give in to the currents of our existence, those mighty external forces, there is a greater power somewhere shaping our ends. Perhaps a divine force, but that would require a whole lot of micromanaging, it seems to me. Yes, we are in control of some decisions. What socks we wear, how long we brush our teeth, what we name our goldfish. But I, and lots of other more qualified philosophers would argue, as Shakespeare did through Hamlet, that the big events in our lives are out of our control. If you think about it, any particular moment in your existence is a result of an uncountable number of coincidences. It's math, statistics, probability, I think. I don't really know math. So once we find ourselves in our particular circumstances, it's important we discover for ourselves what our role in our life is. We must determine our own purpose. For the past 18 years, your purposes have been predetermined by others. Now, upon graduation, you must finally determine your purpose, your role in this existence, this very real existence. What will you do to create meaning for your existence, meaning in your existence? In Greek myth, Sisyphus forever toiled in the darkness of Tartarus, the underworld, laboriously pushing an enormous boulder up a hill over and over again. But, says Albert Camus, Sisyphus found purpose in his work, and by finding meaning, he was satisfied. You need to find your own meaning and purpose, your own satisfaction. Camus says, during every day of an unillustrious life, time carries us, but a moment always comes when we have to carry it. We live on the future, tomorrow, later on, when you have made your way. You'll understand when you're old enough. But now is the time when you have to determine what you are and what part you will play in the paranormal teen romance that is your life. Camus tells us the struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. Sisyphus found meaning in his toils. He created purpose for himself. Now you must determine what your purpose is. And it's a big, daunting job, but it's also essential. Once you have determined your purpose in this wicked, wicked world, I ask that you act with what I call social conscience. This is a governing concept that I do my best to live by. What is social conscience? It's an individual human being always being conscious of the right thing to do in a given circumstance. It is being aware that we are all part of the same interconnected human community and behaving like it. It's doing the right thing, the socially conscious thing, as much as we can, even when we're alone. Maybe especially when we're alone. Sure, there are many people who ignore social conscience or push back against what they know is right. They do it out of ignorance or laziness or perhaps self-interest. But in spite of all the odds against you, I asked that you live according to your own developed and awakened social conscience and seek out others who do the same. One last thing. In a world governed by technology and submerged in screen time, believe it or not, there are still other things that are important. While we expose our young kids to more and more and more screen time, we must remember that interpersonal skills are still the most important skills. The CEOs of major corporations have spoken regarding 21st century job skills, and they are disturbed by the skills that have been neglected during the screen time technology revolution. They want you to know that critical thinking skills are still crucial. They want you to know that skilled communication in speech and in writing are still crucial. They want you to know that emotional intelligence is crucial. They want you to know that interpersonal human communication is crucial. They want you to know that innovation and adaptation are crucial. Add it all up and it's clear that we are losing our ability to be human with each other. And the big bosses out there are looking for those who are talented, yes, but also those who are human. Keep learning, keep improving yourselves, be a curious lifelong learner, be a positive force in your community, wherever you may end up. Give your time, give yourself, give of yourself, because you will never regret doing the right thing for others, I promise you. Wealth, I say, has nothing to do with money. I know a lot of people with lots of stuff who are wildly unhappy. Make yourself successful, make yourself wealthy through the things that you do for others and the time you spend with those people who are important to you. Steer clear of institutional thought and corporate criminality. Never become an agent or administrator for the big bad wolves. Never become a satisfied ghost sleepwalking through your own personal wasteland. Rage against a banal existence. Live your lives. Exist. You will sleep more soundly at night if you live guided by truth and your own humanity. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quartermash. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor to present to the Chelmsford School Committee, the Superintendent of Schools, the graduates of the class of 2019 for the conferring of their diplomas. As principal of Chelmsford High School, I have certified that the students before you have satisfied all graduation requirements and the competencies articulated by the Chelmsford Public Schools and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Let's get started.
The graduates of Emerson House: Juliet Margaret Abel, Jack David Adamson, Charlotte May Bailey, Timothy David Dyer Barlow, Sophia Rose Bellany, Isaac Leo Blanchette, Joseph Robert Boudreau, Emma Elizabeth Boulay, Shane Patrick Carnes, Tess Lindsay Carmel, Joseph Anthony Caruso, Caden Anthony Casiello, Kathleen Margaret Castles, Cade William Chalmers. Andrew John Cloutier. Daniel Tyler Coggins. Laura Erin Coggins. Lavinia Emily Collins. Michael Anthony DeMore. Cameron Vincent D'Angelo. Lauren Taylor DeHaan. Brandon Darrell Daramo. Shelby Eileen Devine. Emily Elizabeth Dion. Danielle Elizabeth DePietro. Samuel William Delott. Nathan Stewart Doyle. Hannah El Faqih. Smriti Eswar. Philip Louis Ferdinand Jr. Connor Liam Ferguson. Dylan Paul Fielding. Erin Rose Fitzgerald. Catherine Knapp Flynn. Nicholas Antonio Gaspar. Charles Michael Govain. Cameron John Gerasi. Devin Nathaniel Janino. Madison Lane Good. Damian David Gould. Christopher Matthew Grover. Spencer Terrence Gump. James Conlon Hartshorn. Ethan Mitchell Hayes. Jacob Riley Hendrickson. Lauren Elizabeth Higgins. Eamon Frederick Hogan. Zayu Felix Wong. Jared Derek Huggins. Michaela Colleen Hugh. Aman Jamil. Graham Jeffries. William Spencer Jewell. Leah Ruth Johnson. Katrina Alexis Kowalik. Michaela Ann Kowalik. Ryan Timothy Krieger. Kevin Anthony Lapola. Joel Stephen LeMagerie. Catherine Julia Leonard. Andrea Grace Lashoto. Ashlyn Maria Lococo. Christian Michael Mann. Joshua Edward Marcoulier. Gabrielle Santos Mendez. Nimra Mahmoud Mir. Lene Nan Mew. Varshini Mohan Kumar. McKenna Grace Moore. Anna Marie Morrow Paletta. Kyle Burton Morrill. Mitchell Alexander Morris. Nathaniel Jacob Morris. Andrew Alexander Moraviv. Isha Sukha Mukherjee. Ethan Cooper Nelson. Brett Michael Nolan. Jack Edward O'Callahan. Brenna O'Donnell. Joshua Kormora Ofosu. Seth Nicholas Parisi. Pearl Shailesh Patel. Praneet Patil. Haley Dawn Pecora. Rachel Nicole Pedersen. Catherine Carol Petka. Lauren Jennifer Pratt. Noah Jonathan Prokop. Adia Putter. Connor Patrick Quinn. Julia Marie Richapi. Erin Marie Riley. Zachary Paul Reynolds. Brendan Charles Riley. Megan Cecile Roberge. Caroline Sheehy Robinson. Kaylee Jean Rucker. Enrique Manuel Santos. Alexa Lynn Schaefer. Kira Ann Scott. Abigail Merrill Siegel. Samuel Robert Siegel. Andrew Ethan Shore. Christina Mary Lou Silva. Gabrielle Beatrice Silva. Charles Nathan Skinsakos. Siobhan Marie Smith. Andrew James Sneeringer. Anna Marie Aluashe Neamaka Sogade. Nolan Thomas Spidell. Megan Ann Stagnon. Zachary Gordon Stryker. Chengwen Sun. Maura Lee Sweeney. Benjamin Justin Ting. Astrid Lucille Stefan Van Haren. Andrew Reed Vinoski. Patience Waderymoon. Warren Matthias Waligo. Michaela Lynn Weinbeck. The graduates of Hawthorne House. Tiana Catalia Am. Kevin Jabez Arokia Raja. Christian Robert Bettinelli. Mackenzie Maywood Bird. Hannah Lou Braslow. Quinn Slater Briere. Ian Justin Butler. Peter James Caruso. Tapitek Chalansuk. John Francis Champagne. Anthony Joshua Charbonnier. Alyssa Rose Ciccarelli. John Joseph Clancy. Isabel Elizabeth Cole. Michael William Connor. Kayla Jean Capola. Benjamin Parker Cote. Jacob Thomas Cordemarsh. David DeBeaucourt. Caitlin Rose DeSilvio. Corey Dene DiBenedetto. Bridget Madeline Dodona. Emma Soyuna Downing. Nicholas John Drew. Sean Patrick Driscoll. Shane Anthony Duffy. Emily Lenore Dunn. Kate Isabel Eastwood. Sarah Maria Eastwood. Erica Elizabeth Emerald. Carl Douglas Erickson. Phil Batir Riyad Farag. Lauren Elizabeth Farrell. Nathan Charles Fernald. Alexandria Q. Floria. John Francis Fox. Kira Lindsay Garrity. Benjamin Ryder Gastingway. Sophia Penelope Gerard. Erin Rebecca Green. Aiden Carl Grossman. Samuel Gaeta. Kelly Megan Hanna. Zachary Wren Hardy. Jake Michael Harrison. Ryan Patrick Hayes. Kevin Joseph Hennessy. Juliet Sophia Hertz. Evan Michael Hogue. Dangmai Trang Huang. Sydney Jeanette Holmes. Joseph Andrew Hughes. Stephen Joseph Imparillo. Kendall Page Johnson. Ethan Ryan Kempner. Caitlin Elizabeth Cohane. Jake Coleman Kepner. Casey Elizabeth Lally. John Thomas Lambert. James Edward Latham. Vincent Jin Lee. Eric Clark Lee. Hao Lee. Chad Robert Lazine. Cynthia Liu. Sophia Rose Lupoli. Kelly B. Lee. Lucy Ma. Michael Leonard Marchessault. Kelly Wen Marshall. Emma Pearl McCarthy. May Noreen McDuffie. Margaret Rose McMaster. Michael Raymond Mealy. Riley Kavanaugh Mitchell. Corbin Dwayne Morgan. Courtney Kathleen Morgan. Jacob Patrick Murphy. Megan Catherine Nealon. Elizabeth Jane Nickerson. Michael Francis Noon. Claire Catherine O'Neill. Anthony Louis Pabon. Caitlin Elizabeth Pearson. Nicholas Daniel Pelletier. Trista Jean Pollock. Luke Christopher Priestley. Meda Purushottam. Christopher John Rabius. Arpan Raja. Milo W. Ransdell. Claire Burns Rigney. Desmond Adrian Rivera. Umama Rizwan. Kyle Ricardo Rosa. Caitlin Ann Russo. Clayton Walker Ryder. Thomas John Scalise II. Christopher Walter Scaplin. Angela Shannon Scott. Kian Charles Scott. Haley Lynn Senna. James Richard Shaw. Deviana Smith. Ananya Srinivasa Gopalan. Jake Kurt Stahl. Jay Phoenix Steinbrecher. Kevin Paul Stolke. Amber Jocelyn Stewart. Grace Elizabeth Sullivan. Kyle Joseph Sweeney. Brian Pareto Tate. Aiden Michael Trainer. Ariana Marie Turco. Christopher Scott Volak. Athlyn Olivia Wood. Christopher James Zaharoulis. The graduates of Whittier House. Aiden Brock Ahern. Juman Al-Sultan. Seneca Quinn Anderson. Carlos Enrique Bejar Garcia. Ariana Elizabeth Bellan. Autumn Rose Bellan. Myven Bechet. Davam Bagat. Jaydeep Bijala. Drew Michael Blodgett. Demetrios Bokas. Cassidy Nicole Boucher. Jason Martin Boudreau. Habiba Buhu. Krista Mary Kabika. Tanner David Carlson. Kelsey Marie Caraba. Clayton Michael Casaletto. Abigail Julia Cassidy. Ayush Chaudhry. Michaela Lynn Clougherty. Sarah Ann Couliard. Grace Elizabeth Dolan. Nathan Visna Doss. Ricky Mawena Ziniku. Nikisha Lorene Elmore. Jacob Raymond Ferrer. Carol Ann Fish. Maya Elizabeth Fucci. Ariel Danielle Garbin. Thomas Michael Garvey. Dylan Sean Goodspeed. Neil Roger Graham. Griffin Robert Green. Lucas Maria Gruneich. Nikila Kubala. David Allen Hamilton. Sophia Isabel Hayward. Alexandra Patrice Enman. Louise Constance Johnson Gray. Lucy Cecile Johnson Gray. Ryan John Kennedy. Christopher Tola Kem. Phoebe Lumansi Camara. Jackson Chung Lee. Thomas Inez Lopez. Kyle John Loicano. Kyla Mackenzie Danae Lyle. Daniel Ryan Marr. Zachary Albert Marcotte. Julia Beatrice Martins. Aiden Patrick McCall. Sarah Ann Meinhardt. Grace Ann Mescal. Brian David Mitchell. Alex Louise Molinari. Colby Charles Morrill. Jeffrey David Morrissey. Moses Mora. Hannah Bates Meyerson. Peyton Dorothy Nagy. Brittany Jenga. Brandon Joseph Nordengren. Justine Claire Newt-Perry. Patrick Troy Michael O'Neill. Obiukwu Onyebar. Amanda Mira Palucci. Elias Joseph Pereira. Drasti Nandikishore Patel. David McGann Pekala. William Robert Phillips. Evan Michael Platil. McKenna Mary Platil. Anna Felicia Querbach. Jacob Raymond Reedy. Jeremy Trenton Reedy. Emily Ann Robinson. Ashley Christina Ross. Shay Gregory Ryan. Serena Lynn Schmidtke. Brianna Marie Shea. Alexander Scott Silva. Sumana Sithalam. Thomas James Slattery. Nicholas James Snelson. Kevin Lewis Souza. Lily Gale Strong. Caitlin Leanne Sullivan. Alexa Joy Tanzer. Benjamin Darren Thompson. Abigail Lee Warnock. Hallie Antonetta Warnock. Angelica Marie Watson. Gianna Marie Watson. Bridget Marie Wetmore. Erin Barbara Young. The officers of the class of 2019. Evan Yongji Wang. Ingrid Shea Haywood. William Moberg Marcotte. Matthew James Doherty.
For our final closing remarks, I'd like to bring back Class President Matthew Doherty. Before he speaks, I would like to give some information and some directions. After President Matt Doherty concludes the program with the turning of the tassels, parents and families, please feel free to take pictures down here on the floor or outside. It's beautiful out. And wherever you do it, staff, students, make sure you return your robes. And now your class president.
Members of Chelmsford High School graduating class of 2019, please rise. Please grasp your tassel and move it from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.
Yeah.